Hello? Testing, testing, testing. What's going on over here? Well, it's time to make some Telly map. What I don't understand is somehow the Streamlabs chat started working midway through the stream yesterday, and I don't know if it's working now. I don't have any idea how this fucking thing works. All right, we doing some Telly action up in y'all. So, jumping back in. Yesterday I did a lot of work on this area. It doesn't probably look like it, but it took me quite some time to get to all this. And last night I did a tiny amount of noodling just to keep up the progress, but I didn't really accomplish a whole lot of material work on the map. Just a few little doodads. Now, one thing I have picked up on, I went back and I realized I needed to reread the rules. Okay, the frickin' capture doesn't work. All maps must have one hidden door marked by 2 office plants that is required for progression. So that's a funny rule because it's supposed to pay homage to the original Tellywad from 90s. I'm fine with that. But I have decorated a lot of areas with 2 plants, and I don't think it's very fun to make it so that I have a bunch of like false red herrings. I don't know. It might be kind of a frustrating experience for a player if I don't fix that. So I don't know if I'm gonna do anything about this yet. It might be one of those things that I save for playtesting, but I'm concerned that this is just gonna make the map annoying because I have 2 plants in a few places. I think over... I mean, I guess that's pretty obvious. So as long as I remember not to just pair up a bunch of double plants, I guess I'll be okay, but I need to be mindful of that. Put some Telly posters on this side of the office, break up some of the monotony. So yeah, I'm going to just start this off the way that I did yesterday during the stream, and I'm just going to do random odds and ends for right now until I feel inclined to start working on the progression and things that will actually be considered making progress on the map. What do we got here? I'll be here in a while, but I got class in 25 minutes. Oh, I'll be here a little while. Well, welcome to the stream as briefly as you can make it here. What class do you have? What are you studying right now? Let me guess. Managerial accounting. Teaching English. Okay. Learning English and then learning to teach English. Probably pretty quite high endeavor. lofty endeavor. But I mean, I'm a native English speaker and I can barely speak the language. But you seem to be pretty fluent in English based on what I know. I've both seen of what you speak and seen of what you write and hear what you speak. So at least you got that going for you. Sounds like an underhanded compliment. That's not what I meant at all. I have a habit of doing that. I accidentally fell into the job, but I like it in the end. I imagine it'll give you a lot of good travel opportunities, which would probably be the biggest value I'd see out of learning to teach a foreign language. Cool. I don't think it matters that these are not equidistant. I don't think anybody's going to notice that. Just have a little more Telly presence in this map. Cool. I like the obey poster. It's so good. I just love how sinister this whole Telly thing is. I swear that's the way I feel about it. There's a ton of people everywhere who want to learn, so in that sense, I guess it's a pretty mobile job. Yeah, I mean, I know people who have just like I used to work with somebody that got accepted into the JET program, which is where you go teach English in Japan. Oh, this is really loud. Hold on a second. And they just got to go live in like a rural Japanese town for like a year and a half or however long. I think you have options to like renew your JET contract as long as you do well, I think. But also living in Japan's probably pretty hard for people. I don't think it's an easy place to just prop up as a foreigner unless you live in like Tokyo or something. But all that to say is that I think there's always a need to bring in teachers who can teach students how to speak English. All right, what am I doing? I'm actually just noodling in a way that I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. So I need to get some steam. I need to pick up some steam. What I want to do is get this area under wraps. This is like the starting area, so it's a kind of a subway thing going on. I like the cement, but I feel like the cement on its own is a little much. So I might try something I normally don't do and make like a compound, one of those sectors that the walls where it looks like a one-sided line, but you actually pull to a sector ceiling and floor together and use two separate upper and lower. So let's see, we can accomplish this with the stair builder pretty easily. Stair builder, my beloved. Actually, what I should do first, I need to make sure. Oh. This. Okay. I don't want it to be right up against that fake door. Try alternating normal and yellow cement. Zune text yellow is useful. Oh, I haven't. I'm probably going to do the compound wall sort of thing, but I'll look at that too as a little proof of concept. I like the yellow Zune textures, but they don't all really fit super well in my map, at least in my opinion. They're just quite a lot, you know what I mean? So I could, okay, couple options. I could bring the upper and lower together, or I could just leave it like this. This is the way I normally detail, right? I have like indentations in the wall, and then I'll have this be something, and then this indentation. I don't usually bring the floor up to touch the upper part of the wall, but maybe it's an opportunity to just experiment a little bit with my style. It's very intense yellow, yeah. I mean, it makes sense for the Telly project for the most part, but my map is a little more grounded, I think. Actually, I wanted to do the bottom as the cement, not the top. right, what's going to mesh well with this? It's going to be something pretty simple. So we had the suggestion of the yellow cement. I'll go look at those here in a second. I'll like experiment with that in a separate area. We have, okay, so we do have yellow cement. I'll just look at this for the time being, just real quick. Yeah, that's not doing it for me. The default cement is just so... I don't think... It's not an easy texture to play well with others. It's not impossible, but I find it to be a pretty commanding texture. Whatever that means. Also, I just don't know if the yellow or the orange really meshes with the color scheme. Also, it's probably going to be a little tricky to gauge how effective this is until more of the room is configured to match it. So it'll probably look a little bit odd on its own regardless until I get that under control. Zelgados, is that Sesamia? Hello, welcome to the stream. That glass as wall textures is a bold choice. I think it works. Hold on. Let me show you where I really like using it. I don't know if you were watching my stream yesterday, but like this. This is not at all like completely detailed, but it's substantially blocked out. But I mean, tell me that doesn't all look good together. The glass texture, I just love that. Such a vibe. It looks like some sort of tiled wall at a glance. That's how I think about it. That's one thing that will take you very far in mapping, is to shed the shackles of thinking about textures purely as like what their intended material is supposed to be. I think making compound textures is pretty... It's an art form. I don't know if this gray texture is completely doing it for me. I'm going to keep playing around. The nice thing is that once I do the whole area like this, it'll be easy to kind of iterate and experiment. I'll just flood fill to my heart's content. It looks like glass tiles. You don't have to see it that way though, my friend. That's what I mean. You don't have to see it that way. Close your eyes and imagine some other material. Something I love seeing is the use of stock patches to make new textures. I think I remember seeing that a lot in Nostalgia and being generally impressed by their use. Yeah, doing just messing around with the patch table. I don't actually, like, I understand what is happening for the most part, but I don't understand how to do any of that. Generally, I just haven't really gone out of my way to try to learn it. It'd be interesting to figure out someday, though, when I get back around to that. But I don't know how useful would it be at this point? Like, there's probably been a ton of experimentation with the combinations of the different patches already. Like, you wouldn't have to look very hard to just find somebody who's already made the combination you want. Very easy to do it in Slate, huh? It doesn't seem that tricky, because, I mean, people can just, like, do it to their heart's content, right? Like, they... Let's see. Okay, that'll be good enough for... Yeah, I don't think the gray's really doing it for me. Like I said, the cement will get you. It doesn't always play well with other textures. That's definitely not it. That could kind of work. The thing is, like, is this grimy texture appropriate for a subway station in, like, a city? I don't know. I've only been on a subway, like, 5 times in my life. I don't know what it looks like to be in a real subway station. But one of the brick textures could work, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, this is, like, fine, but this doesn't strike me as a... It doesn't... I don't know, it's just not giving me the feeling of being in a subway. I can't explain it. Probably not mod wall. This is a texture I have a lot of trouble using. I don't think I get this texture. Oh, whoops, I didn't realize I'd done that. I'm definitely overthinking this, but I'm trying to just get it right and then just move on. Like, I just want to design this area and then be done with it. You're not going to see it too well, but I definitely think it would benefit from having a little bit of good detail in it. Like, you want the starting area in your map to be interesting, or the starting shot to be interesting in some way. What are the other gray textures? We have... These grays just don't really work. Bro. I don't know. I'm just really trying to figure out... brute forcing my way into, like, some creative productivity. So right now it's not happening. Patch text is already there and super easy to use. Didn't Jimmy do one? Is that the one? Or is it something else that I'm thinking of? All right, now I feel like I'm overthinking this. All right, let's just keep going. I always like to give the ceiling and floor of windows and doors and things like that different flats than the accompanying sectors, even if I end up using the same ones in the sectors that adjoin them. All right, this is a room. This is like an actual room, so we can use like just a regular. Sometimes I feel the gray textures are a bit too bland, but they can be used well. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now, and it would be, I think it would be fixed in my mind if they were just like 20% darker. So that's kind of what I'm struggling with at the moment. Oh, hey, one of my midis has come up. This is the MIDI I made for Portraits of Doom for P.E.K.K.A. What am I doing? What am I actually doing? I guess this is just like some ticket booth office. I don't know. I'm not really... I don't think subways really have things like this, but I don't... This is what's going on right now, so... Oh, that's a weird transition. Hold on. 32. Okay, so why isn't this line up? I guess I can just do this. The music is very low. Is that better? Time to Telly like it is. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the music was too low. So, does anybody else do this? If you have like a window, yes or no, does this texture have to match this texture? Tell me a little bit about your style. Does this have to match this? Depends on the room, I guess. All right. I think it helps to be similar colors, though. Do you have a consistent rule? Like, do you have a default? Like, do you have an inclination to do one or the other, or is it always going to be like just depending on what you're trying to accomplish? And depends on the ceiling textures used for the window. I don't know if this is going to fit. Oh, that actually kind of works. Looks like having an open window for the booth. Yeah, that's perfect. Without context, my inclination is to match them since, yeah. I kind of know what you mean, though. Like, it makes sense if you have, like, the brick exterior of a house and the interior wallpaper. But especially when you're making a space that's, like, a lot more abstract, and just how the textures match and everything is probably like a lot more of an important element of what you're accomplishing in general. makes me think that people could end up being more inclined to try to have them match. So maybe if you're more of an abstract mapper, maybe you'll be more inclined to have them match. But if you like to make them a lot more like naturalistic spaces, maybe you don't care that they match as much. So when I talk about having different crutches for my style, something like this is totally it. I love detailing like this with a pipe wall. Do I want to make this? So I guess I've kind of had this where every window in my map has actually not been shootable through. So I guess I should probably make the first window you encounter in the map also follow that rule. So all my fake ceiling and floor tags are in range 100 to 200. I don't know if anybody else numbers this way. Do you just, your numbering schema for tags, do you just always use the next available number? Or do you have some kind of system to organize them? I always try to, I don't go hard on like a super granular organization method. But what I usually do is I will have certain ranges given to certain like special functions that I want to keep track of, like sky transfers. If I need a bunch of like weird sky transfers that you can't just settle it with sector. If for some reason you don't want to just have every sector you have in the map all be sky transferred, I'll put them on like range 1000 or range 100 or something. Special things, I'll just do some random high number. I don't know that it always matters all that much to me, but it's nice to just know that like I can always reference. I always know generally like what, like I know that any sector is like, oh, I tagged it 100 because I want to have a sky transfer in it or whatever. If you have multiple steps to something, you'll use 10 plus, 110 plus, 220 plus to make organizing easier. So it's like all the, so if it's like a chain of actions, like in a voodoo doll closet or something, you'll have a specific range. Taviao, didn't know you mapped live. Hey, welcome to the stream. I have been streaming live this week to work on my Telly map. It's been a nice little weird productivity boost. So this map is due Sunday, and this has helped me just kind of keep my rhythm going, because I can't just sit here and stare off into space or get distracted by like what I need to pick up next on YouTube. I just have to map. I just got to shut up and map, as my olden or Death Bear would say. I just happened to click the Telly video and saw this. Well, welcome. I can't say this will be entertaining for everybody. I don't know if watching mapping is the most entertaining thing in the world, but is this the map for the track you posted? Yeah. It's called Arkham. Is this Mark Clem? I can't see the name. It is Jimmy, okay. Yeah, I gotta get this map finished pretty quickly. I think I'm going to be able to go pretty hard at least one day this weekend and get it knocked out. I'm trying to think if I want to put any like major Doom cute stuff in here. More polished than your CCSO2 map, at least. The one that took you 2.5 hours. Yeah, that map was okay. But it definitely exposed my weaknesses in speed mapping and planning to start speed mapping. That's, I think, one of the big reasons why I don't speed map more often is because my inclination to map is kind of based on vibe, and sometimes like the obligation to just do the map in a strict amount of time makes me feel like I don't want to try, because I like to have the luxury of like getting distracted or just kind of getting up every 20 minutes or so, stretching my legs, walking away. And like, I know you can start and stop the timer, but like, let's be real. If you're speed mapping, I assume most people, like, if you have 5 hours to speed map, you're going to maybe plan to actually sit down for a major part of that block and try to get the map done. Like, maybe you're not going to sit down for the full 5 hours, but you might sit down for 3 hours a map. And I don't usually feel that way about my desire to map. A bunch of worries and expectations have been mounting to the point where my mapping has become slower. Yeah, there's definitely a huge risk of like starting to overthink what you're doing and give yourself analysis paralysis or whatever. And it does help to... So I found this streaming to be pretty productive for me, specifically because like I said, I can't just sit around and like browse YouTube. I'm not trying to be a freaking clown in front of everybody. And sometimes, especially if you watch any of my streams this week, there's periods of time where I literally just don't talk for 5 minutes while I'm just thinking about what I'm doing. But it has kept me in front of this and doing only mapping. And I found that a nice little change of pace for my productivity at the very least. So I'm not saying the solution to everybody is mapping, but I think that there's some value in kind of changing up your arrangement in some way, or otherwise finding some way to kind of reframe your mindset a tiny bit so that you can sort of break the shackles of whatever's keeping you from doing what you want. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is like pure noodling on my front. I will say that streaming while I map is an interesting experience in the sense of like trying to hold a conversation and think about what I'm doing at the same time has been an interesting experience. I don't know that I'm particularly great at that. A large portion of my speed maps are done in 10 to 30 minute increments unless there's a rule that I need to do it all in one sitting. Interesting. Well, whatever method you have for speed mapping is good method, because your speed maps are some of the more impressive speed maps I've seen. That in the sense that like you could look at this map and be like, wait, that was a speed map? I think this might be good enough. I'm trying to, with this map in particular, one thing that's also helped is that this is supposed to be not like a 90s jank wad, but it's inspired by 90s random id games nonsense. And so I think that remembering that I can stop at a specific level of detail in an area and just walk away from it and it looks okay helps. So it's like I don't need to sit here and just noodle with this thing the whole way through. I can just kind of stop at some point. Now that being said, let's put a couple of random little things in here. This is one of my favorite tracks from Eve Eternity 2. It's less pressure to be able to walk away from what you're working on. Yeah, I mean, mindset's very important, and if you personally feel like the pressure of like feeling obligated to sit still makes you feel like you can't access that creative energy, then that's not the right way to do it. For me personally, though, I like to have it as like a, let's say, an accountability measure. Cool. The proportions on the computers are absolutely ridiculous, but I kind of think that's funny. I might lower this a little bit just so it's not so tall. Three uninterrupted days of mapping. Hopefully you get to use most of those for actual mapping. I know how easy it is to be like, all right, I'm going to be mapping today or this weekend, and then you're like, well, I got to do all my chores first, and then I don't want to just, I don't know. It's really easy to not realize that. I think I want to change this to a different texture. Novaseer, what's up? I think if anything that just makes it even more authentically 90s. Yeah. There we go. This will work. I spend most of the weekend watching Star Trek. Star Trek's a good show. That's the thing, is it's like I want a map, but if I have a long weekend where I can just relax and enjoy stuff, I think I must always put just my overall well-being before mapping. It's like if I just want to relax and chill, maybe that's what I really want to do, and I'm just going to do that instead. Especially if you've just been like working hard. Mapping is an incredibly rewarding process for me, but like, let's be real, it's not always fun. You know, it's we like hope that we don't have to kind of say that about it, but it's not always fun. It's not, I'll go one step further. It's not always like enjoyable. Doing good. Just got a shit ton of work done on my In Bloom map, which is nice considering the pace at which I usually map. LOL. I saw that In Bloom project, but I haven't really looked into it too much. I'm done signing up for stuff for a while. I'm not signing up for any new projects. It's been really tough to bring this map into the home stretch. And Tabia, you know, something else is around the corner at the end of June. And I've got a lot of ways to go on that front. And then after that, I don't know. I have one more project in the wings for like my personal stuff. And one more project due late summer. It's just like, man, I don't want to take a extended break from mapping, but I do just wish I could freaking forget about it for a minute. So I decry the use of support 3 as like the catch-all border texture, but I use lights as my catch-all border texture. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but I can't help it. I don't know why this won't line up with the grid. Now, I don't always use the light, but I use it a ton because it's just an interesting way to make sure you're always introducing light variation in whatever you got. Did you get your mapping breaks extended? No. So it seems like the chat, I just realized it is showing up. It shows up like at the very bottom. Is it actually good at this point? Like, is it effective right now again? Or do I still need to adjust it? Because I think I went onto Streamlabs and upped the font size a little bit. I was going to do another map for the coming soon thing, but I'm putting 95% of the energy into the personal project now. Yeah, sometimes you just got to know when to call it and devote time to your own stuff because you never get around to it. That's what I felt last year trying to get Bitter Dream out the door. I was just like, bro, I keep doing other stuff and I really want to finish this project. And then I would get time for Bitter Dream and I'm like, I'm so burnt out from mapping. I don't want to work on it right now. I probably should stop hopping into community projects too, considering I haven't gotten any work done on my personal project in approximately 2 months. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it's fun to just participate in a bunch of group stuff. If you like doing that, there's nothing wrong with it. You shouldn't be ashamed to use your time that way. But yeah, I'm the kind of person who's like, I know I can't have an over-reliance on deadlines for my hobby because then I start resenting it a little bit. Oh, that vertex did not matter at all. You won't see what it connects to. How's your mapping going today? It's going pretty good. I am just kind of getting into the flow. Just I'm keeping it light so far. I haven't really I'm not really working on progression or anything. I'm just touching up the starting area because I haven't really given it any attention since I started making the map. I was saying earlier, I think you owe it to yourself in your map to make sure that the starting area or the starting room is interesting looking. Is this a different sector height? This is 32, negative 32, negative 32. This is 24 and 24. Okay, hold on. There we go. Well, that lines up better. This is lower than 24. Oh, this is 32 as well. Why is this different? Oh, I see, I see, I see. What is better? There's an unusually long chat delay for some reason. I think it defaults to normal, which is longer. Oh, I mean, I don't think so. I was just looking at your message from like 5 minutes ago and finally responding to it. I'm I'm not actually like reading the chat very well while I'm trying to map, so but I know you had said something specifically to me, so I went back and looked at it. But no, it's not it's not delayed. It's me. I guess I need to try to make this look like a little subway car. This is getting a lot better. This is looking pretty good so far. Oh, I went to that trouble to make the fake sector, and then I remembered I mean, you can't even shoot that high anyways, unless you're playing in GZ Doom. The wrong port. The delay's like 9 seconds, which isn't horrible. I think Sandwich was referring to, he assumed that the stream might have been on a long delay compared to when he was typing, but no, it was just me not looking at the chat for like 2 minutes. I don't have a co-pilot here to help me. It's on the other screen. So my chat in relation to my window, it's like my window's right here, my chat's all the way over here. So it's like I have my second monitor sort of catty cornered from my first at an angle. I have to turn my head like 35, 40 degrees to look over at the chat. GZ Doom drives me crazy how you always have to cater to it and keep fixing everything that is broken. Yeah. It is very annoying. But we have to capitulate the normies. It is our curse as mappers. What am I doing? Oh, nice. Wait a minute. Wait a god dang minute. Look at this tiny ass little sector it created. This is why I hate rotating the grid. Let's do this. Let's realign the grid to this line. So this is supposed to be a subway car. Subway car. Your car is fucked, Barb. I'm just going to put some simple windows. What do we have? What options do we have? Yeah, let's put some... That's kind of silly, but it doesn't not work. I don't like that. I don't know what I'm doing ever, but also right now. Silly Doom cute trains are the best Doom cute trains. I like them too. I like them too. I feel like my brain is broken. Like I've just suddenly forgotten how the hell this works. Let's do this. Just manually doing this. All right. Okay, God. I don't know why that was so difficult. Like, does anybody else just, like, occasionally struggle with, like, an incredibly basic task? And you're like, what? Why am I suddenly not able to do this? Oop. You know what? I'm just going to draw this manually. It's not smart to copy and paste sectors with the rotated grid like this. At least in my experience. Yeah, Doomcute is, it's not Doomcute, jeez. I was like reading two messages. Jeezy Doom is definitely annoying to accommodate when you're making a map. I find it that annoying, and then when you need to get the WAD file ready, it seems like, I don't know, it still doesn't support UMap info, right? So you have to technically make a UMap info and a ZMap info to make them both work. And who has time for that? That's stupid. Some kind of border texture here. Pipe. Pipe is going to be good. Pipe is good for this. Is it though? It might not be. This is one of those things where it's like, I want to just do some self-indulgent noodly detailing. Yeah, this is good. Oh, I forgot this texture is 64 wide, not... What do I have this width as? I can just move all this. That'll be fine. Oh, boss actions. I have no idea how that works in ZMap info. Somebody explain to me why plants are considered obstacles and not decorations. You have to use the UDMF line actions instead of the ZDoom format line actions. That sounds like a freaking pain in the ass. Want to put a Telly poster here of some kind? Or maybe I just leave this. Maybe I just hold on. Let's back up. Let me just give this a chance on its own. I could be almost done with this area if I just figure out a few more things and not get too involved in noodling. Like, it doesn't need to be a whole lot more than the cement. The cement is good. The brick texture here is fine. I want to put something here just for a little bit of detail. Oh, this is crooked. This is some weird-ass geometry. Don't look at this too hard. Don't look at this too hard. You will not feel good. Look at the difference between these two and these two. Oh! Let me align the grid with this line. Maybe I'll do this line. Hold on. This is not okay. Just don't look at it. I hate when that happens. Yeah, this whole thing is just it's completely out of pocket. I'm gonna change this. It's so weird. This cement in the carpet ceiling. This doesn't make any sense. Do I want to put any lights in here? I don't know. I don't really care all that much if there's lights or not. One thing I will do is I'll do some... Oh! Oh God, look at this. Look at this. Ugh. It's so bad. It's so bad. Alright, hold on. I can get away with this. I shouldn't be allowed to, but I can get away with it. Nobody presses tab. I look at the auto map all the time. Okay. I do want a light in here. So let's align the grid with this line. I don't know the best way to do this. I like literally just tilt my head. All right, we're gonna go here. Let's see, what is it? 40... 45, that's what I thought. My phone just blinked. Oh, wow. Sorry, I just looked at my phone for a second. Got an interesting update. On the dog grooming. I don't normally do these like diamond lights, but I felt the urge to for some reason in this project, and I kind of like it. Cool. Just need one. That's good enough. Cool. And I put Stupid Bunny's picture here for some reason. I just thought it'd be a funny little poster. I gotta pay homage to the project lead, right? All right. I think I might have the starting area designed. Like, this is good enough for the train. Like, you get it. Oh, you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have any doors. How do you get on this train? You have to climb on the back. All right, we'll fix that here in just a second. But otherwise, I mean, all that waffling I did about like what the top texture would be for this, and I think that the cement works just fine. Yeah, right on. I think I can basically call that complete on the starting area. I think that looks just fine. Osmosis transit. It's like trying to get to Hogwarts or whatever. You gotta run straight headfirst into the freaking brick wall to get on the train. Let's see. What can take the place as a door without having to do a whole lot of detailing? Maybe mod wall? What's the black wall? Oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot. This is why it was a mistake not to indent the frickin' train exterior from the top of the ceiling. It was stupid. But what's done is done. I'm not changing it. This is one of those things where it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna pivot. I'm gonna find a way to work around this. And then this will be the new reality. Like, what looks worse between the two options? That the door doesn't line up perfectly, or that this doesn't this isn't flush clean with the wall. Style kind of looks like Ev Eternity and Duke Nukem had a child. Well, you know, this uses a lot of Duke Nukem textures in this set. I think one of the SPC doors would do the trick. So that's very possible. So the thing about this project is, you know, that could potentially work. Like, what about this? Yeah, fuck it. That's good enough. That's a good call. I've taken a lot of like random advice on this project so far. I'm gonna have to start handing out like co-authoring credits before I'm done. What length is this line? It's 96. Oh, right. And then I did this. Then I did... Yeah, this is good enough. This is totally good. Good call. You get a gold star. Doom Wiki page just says, Map XX by Living Dead and chat. Yeah, I'll give you all credits. As chat. You can indent that one map unit. Yeah, I could. But overly noodly, like one map unit difference detailing stuff feels like antithetical to some of the vibe. I think for this to be a completely successful map, and I know I haven't really succeeded on this universally across the map, but like not be too obsessed with the fidelity of all the visual detailing. If you see the original Telly Direct Atlantic map that this project is based on, it's from the 90s, and it's one of those like my house, my school, my office style maps. It looks like it's charming, but it kind of looks like shit. And you know, even I think one can even make the argument that like this is too much detail for the Telly project. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I don't personally, I'm never satisfied with my just like throwaway maps where I just flood fill stuff. Like the map I made for CCS CCS09. It's fine. I don't know that I'm particularly ashamed of it, but I'm also not particularly proud of it. It's just not that... it's not that interesting. And I prefer to make maps that have more going on and are more detailed. Yeah, I think this is doing pretty good so far. I like the I like what I've done for the subway area. I think I can pretty much close the chapter on this one, unless I want to like maybe touch up the ceiling flats a smidgen. I do not know why this is flashing, but I like it. So what I'm going to do is this. I don't remember if I accidentally made that flashing or if I just did it. I don't know, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to place some CCS09. I have to see what the hell this is. It's fun jank. So there's actually some pretty good maps in that project, though, so you should enjoy yourself. I love making detailed maps too. I like the minimalism some people achieve with lower line counts, but I'm not amazing at matching that energy. Yeah, I know what you mean. Some people just have like a sense for how to just bend the textures to their will, and you can imply a lot without a lot of detail. Okay, so one thing that I've done for this whole map, and I think I'm just going to continue to lean on this for visual fidelity, is using this as a border detail texture. I like it. It's this texture is what I would consider a charming texture. You just look at it and you're like, that just matches what I want. That just looks the way I want it to. Let's see, how long have I had the stream going for? 1 hour and 8 minutes. All right, I need to take a bio break. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Where's my BRB? Oh. We'll be right back, folks. Hello. Wait, where'd everyone go? Where'd everyone go? My maps for CCS09 are clown shows for the most part. I was only working with Doom 1 line actions due to an oddity with my UDB config. Interesting. Mapping in Doom 1 is something else. Shadow Realm. We all disappear off to the Shadow Realm. All right. Okay, why do I set that sound as loud in my headphones? Hello, testing, testing. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, so I hashed out a lot of this area. I haven't really figured out like how the combat's gonna flow. Kind of a big open area, so it's gonna be pretty incidental, like siege. You're pushing into this area. Maybe I need to save some free negative space for monster closets and stuff like that. I don't know. I could just rely on teleports to fill the area with monsters when you do something. So what I haven't really figured out is like what this is. And honestly, I'm not feeling particularly inspired to solve that problem at the moment. I'm just not sure. So maybe just to quickly recap, this area, you can get to it from here, from street level. So it's one of the first areas you can go to if you want to, or if you're up on the if you go through the Telly Direct office, you can also access it from here. I did a little detailing in this area last night. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that, guys. Snacksalotl, what's up? So yeah, you can get to it from here. I'm trying to go for like some shopping mall food court vibes, but I'm trying to keep it abstract more than make it super realistic, so it has a bit of a like a liminal feel to it. I mean, you can't tell me you look at this tile texture right here, flood filled in a room, and not get like liminal spaces vibes. So this is kind of like a food court sort of what do you call it's the name of like the part of the building where like traffic flows through it, not like a hallway, but like you kind of know what I mean. And I just arbitrarily put some poison floor out here because I realized I wanted some damaging floor in the map for some reason, but I don't know like what this area could potentially be. Main lobby. Interesting. That's not a bad idea. I like this map. Well, thank you. I think I'm doing pretty good on it. I've got a lot of good stuff going on, I feel. For anyone who hasn't seen as well, we'll do a little tour of the Telly office here. Let me just, I'll just run through the map from the start real quick. Oop, that's not it. I need it to rebuild the nodes. So you start in a little subway, and I just spawned in with no monsters, so there's no combat. Come out of the subway. Come into a little city pavilion type of area, plaza. We can go into the Telly offices this way. I got this like overly complicated elevator set up. It's the boss's office. So you can get the blue key. And once you get the blue key, come back over here and get the blueprint. And there's lots of little like ambushes and stuff happening up to this point. Come out up here. End your pain. So then you can come in this way if you want to. So yeah, there's one of the blueprints, and then I think the other like sort of progression-based area will be like up wherever this goes. I haven't tried out the new chain gun since Stupid Bunny updated the resource file. And this will be kind of like where this will lead to the final area. I don't exactly know how this is all going to work yet, but... Oh, this is so much better than it was. It's just like a super strong chain gun now. Nice. Oh, a flooded parking garage could be interesting too. Cafeteria-style trays of vaguely food/meat textures work well without getting deep into Doomcute. Yeah. Looks like a concrete venue or a forum. Sweet-ass chain gun, yeah. I like the super chain gun. The original version, it had like the same width of spread as the shotgun, and it fired mostly like flat horizontal shots, and it just... I don't know that it was that good. A parking garage could be good too. So here's the weird thing. I don't actually want to make this like super duper detailed. What I don't want to do is like pull a CBM and design like an incredibly detailed car and like a bunch of different variants or something. I kind of want to I want to leave this space a little more abstract in nature. I just want it to kind of fit the vibe, but I don't really need to know what purpose it serves. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's where I'm leaning anyways, because I want this to kind of feel like it's not quite the thing that it is. Is that explaining it in a way that makes sense? I mean, this already looks kind of interesting, but it feels incongruent enough that I'm not completely sold on it as being the way to design this area visually. I think it could be kind of on the way there. But I don't know if it's quite hit the mark yet. I think I'm just gonna freestyle a little bit. I don't know why I just deselected that. I wanted to keep it selected. I don't know why, but for some reason I was thinking that this would be like a sky, but that seems a little silly. Flashbanged? Oh yeah, the... Ah! Definitely feeling that mental fatigue catch up a little bit. Why did it let me create these lines off the grid? Oh, because I lined it up with this, duh. See you around, Tavia. Thanks for checking this out. I honestly don't stream mapping super often, but I've been kind of diving headfirst into it this week, just like I said, as a productivity measure for my Telly project. But if I can find a way to make it work, I'd be more interested in streaming more often. I like it. It's kind of a fun experience for me, too. Well, thanks for stopping by. Whoa, why did that happen? We don't need to do that. That's ridiculous. It was making it a one-sided line for some reason. Doom Builder doesn't always like lines that just connect to nothing. It gets a little upset sometimes, doesn't it? What am I making? I still just haven't figured this out yet. This feels so weird, like just mixed up in a city. You know what part of it is too? Is if I could make this water, I bet I would like this a little bit more. It's the display place for the blueprints. Now it's got the liminal pools vibe going on. Whoops. I don't know if I want to keep that water though. I want to find some way to shoehorn a damaging floor into this. I also don't like the angle of this shape that much. Let's do some crazy stair builder stuff. Let's get a little wild, guys. Wait, no, let's do even thinner than that. Let's do 4. Oof. See, I can actually be a decently productive mapper when I'm not stopping to explain myself every 2 seconds. Which is not me being upset about anybody. I'm just saying. Just kind of get in my own groove. Oh, I didn't make that I didn't make that glowing. I say as I failed to do the thing that I was trying to do. Ooh, that's neat. It's a neat effect. Let's see. I'm working on a bit of a vibe. I think I'm working on something. Let's see. Doesn't really matter if I don't think, but I'm just doing this anyways. Wait, why did it do that? You didn't have to do that, dude. Why are you fucking my shit up? I didn't realize it messed up all my sectors. I must have had these joined and I forgot. Oh, it's because I split the sector and it didn't divide it into two separate sectors. That's what happened. It's like, what's going on, man? Why did this work? Why did this break? It's probably one of my favorite Jimmy tracks. It's got a lot of fun energy. I guess I'll just continue to lean on this texture. 96 is not nearly as tall as I thought it would be, though. It's a little short. And I think... So hold on, what if I do this? Oh, I messed up my... I messed it up. I don't know if that's really hitting the way that I thought it would. What if I just start with this? Okay, I've messed up. I've messed this up. I don't think I completely understand sometimes why this messes up. I guess it's because I need this floor to also be a sky. My favorite track of Jimmy's that I've heard so far is Nobody Told Me About Plutonia. I wonder if that's one I would recognize. Okay, why can I not get this to work? There's something very obvious I'm not doing correctly. There we go. Yeah, there needs to be a sky sector in front of the sky sector. I thought it was something silly. Thing is, I know this, but it's like one of those things that I always like screw up anyways. I don't know why. I just don't really know if that does a whole lot for me. What is this area missing? This is still just like not completely hitting for me. To be honest, to be perfectly honest, I do usually have a way of solving a problem like this, which is as much as I like this, I think this is really cool. It makes me wonder, like, I don't know. It's not really accomplishing anything. But usually what I do is if I get stuck on a thing and I'm just like, I don't know what this is, I don't know why it's here, I can't figure out what to do with it, it tells me something that is usually it's time to delete it and start over. Is that painful for anyone else? Is that gonna be a problem for anyone? Are we okay to move past that? I'm pretty convinced that I'm going to feel like that was a good decision without too much further getting into this. This is such a good song too. Tristan's awesome. I think this is totally it. Here's what happened. It just lost the spirit of the shopping mall vibe. This is one of those rare songs on my playlist that was not made by a composer from the Doom community. It is featured in a Doom project. Does anyone know what it is? Without looking it up? Is it from Plock? Well, so I will say this. I know of one answer. I don't know if it has more than one answer, so... But I will say that Plock is not what I was thinking of. And in fact, I don't even know what that is. I'll give it like one more second, I'll say. This isn't meant to be like interesting trivia. I'm just keeping the conversation going, I suppose. I don't know if this is particularly interesting or not. Plock with an SNES platforming game with an incredible soundtrack. Well, is this from that game? The MIDI, the WAD that this MIDI was used in is Valiant. It's one of the moon levels. And there you go. That's it. It's from Valiant. I don't remember if I already saved after I made all that deletion, but I'm going to split the file regardless. All right, what are we at? 137. I think this could be on the way to working. Let's do this. If there is an easier way to select all these vertices, please let me know. Without like selecting stuff that I don't want to select, I mean. I'm gonna abuse the hell out of this window texture. It's just so good. Maybe I can even reuse that weird. Hold on. I'm gonna reuse this, guys. I'll even just use my same dummy sectors. Paint select. Is that where you hold the middle mouse down? I should have also joined all these together, but just whatever. Will this work? I think this is kind of on the way to fixing the issue. So then the progression will be go down here and go up this way. And then the question is, do I want to leave a way for the player to get back, like to go through here? Or I think I want I'll be fine if the player has to backtrack a bit. So this can be like a store or something like that. It can kind of give off the impression of being a store. Holding the key down. Yeah, I guess it is a little awkward to try to paint select with the middle mouse wheel. I've gotten used to it, but I just find the whole feature to be a little awkward in general. It's not perfect. But when I run into problems is like when it skips a line somehow. And then you're like, I don't know, sequentially numbering a bunch of lines related to monster classes or something and you miss one. But like that didn't take me too long to select all that. Just kind of got to do like sweeping motions. Ooh. All right, y'all, I hate to do this, but I'm going to call the stream here just because it's getting into the evening. I got to get into dinner. I don't want to be cooped up in front of my computer all night. I got off work and then immediately started streaming. It's been a busy week. So appreciate everyone who stopped by to check this out. Tomorrow's Friday, so no idea if I'm going to do it tomorrow after work or not. But I am guessing that either Saturday or Sunday, one of the two, I will stream, probably for longer than this, just to kind of push this into... This is getting to the point where I need to push pretty hard to get the map finished by the deadline without making some serious cuts to whatever I'm going to do next. So I think I'm going to try to stream for a little bit longer on one of those 2 days, but no idea exactly which one. But thanks for everybody who stopped by, and we'll see you around next time. And I hope you have a great life if I literally never see you or talk to you ever again.